So MTHFR, what is it? Why are people so hyper focused on it right now? And, should I test my genetics for this mutation? And if I have it, then do I take methylfolate like everyone's saying? No. But first, let's talk about the first question. In case you're not familiar, what is MTHFR? Well, MTHFR is just an enzyme that plays a key role in your methylation. And what is your methylation? Your methylation is part of your detox process. It's where a methyl group is added to a substance to help detoxify it. Your methylation cycle is pretty complex. It's critical to healing because not only does it get rid of toxins, but it can actually inactivate viruses. It can deactivate cancer cells. So when I have clients that come to me with chronic issues, we dive right in and look at what the methylation, how they're methylating, because that's super important to healing. But what I do not do is hyper focus on just one enzyme in the methylation cycle, which most people are doing with the MTHFR. There are other it's an entire cycle, right? So everything depends on everything else. And so you don't want to just hyper focus on one area. You need to look at all of the areas. The MTHFR, in and of itself, it has two variants. One gets the most attention, and that is the C677T. And this one, if you have mutations on it, will make you less efficient to convert vitamin B9 folate to methylfolate, which is just the active form of vitamin B9 that your body can use, right? And so the second one, though, that doesn't get much attention is the A1298C, and this one can make you prone to higher levels of ammonia. And I look at both. I look at the entire cycle, and I'm going to actually show you the cycle here. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see, because it's hard to explain if you can't see what it looks like. So here we go. This is your methylation cycle. It is very complex. Our bodies are intricately and wonderfully made. And it's miraculous at everything that it can do to keep us alive and keep us safe and keep us healthy. But when there's issues, it's good to use the epigenetics so that we can make things run better. So here's the MTHFR, and I don't know if people just hyper focus on it because it's, in the center of the cycle. But again, it's a cycle, so everything's connected. No matter what you do, it's going to affect other areas. So oftentimes, people are just recommended to, supplement with folate if they have a mutation here. But if you do that, it's going to drive this. And here is your neurotransmitters, right? So these are mutations on your neurotransmitters. The COMT is going to dictate, if you have mutations here, it's going to affect how well you can break down your dopamine, the MAOA, your serotonin. And so if you are not breaking down your dopamine very quickly and you're prone to higher levels of dopamine and you're taking methylfolate or methylated B vitamins or any kind of methyl donor, it's going to drive this down and it's going to make your dopamine go higher. And that is going to cause a lot of symptoms that are not going to feel good. Anxiety, irritation, mood swings. I've seen people on Instagram that I follow that are telling people that they should get their children tested for the MTHFR. And if they have mutations, then to give them methylfolate. Well, if you do that without seeing how things are here, it's going to lead to a lot of behavioral issues. These poor kids are getting too much dopamine and they're having, breakdowns and meltdowns and problems in school. And so don't do that. If you're going to do that, make sure that you're looking at the whole thing so that you aren't making things worse for them. So we look at all of that. We look at when people come on, I run 3 functional labs right off the bat with new clients. One of them is genetics and another one's a blood panel. The blood panel, what I'm looking for with the methylation cycle is the homocysteine. And this isn't one that you're going to just get if you go into your doctor and get a wellness, lab drawn. You have to actually ask for your homocysteine. They don't usually include it. They don't really even know what to do with it. So I always have my clients ask for that one. So we get this one, then we can see how well they're methylating. Because if your homocysteine levels are really high, it means that there's a breakdown here somewhere. And the homocysteine is not getting recycled back into methionine, which is what you want it to do, because methylation actually happens at SAMe. And so if this is getting bogged down and not getting recycled back in, then you're not methylating well. And that's not a good thing. This is your transsulfuration right here. And so if your homocysteine gets really low, what can be happening too is it can be getting sucked down here, which is also not a good thing. This leads to high sulfur levels. And if you have an active CBS mutation, which causes this to go for like makes this gets it sucked down this way to lead to those higher sulfur levels, then I usually recommend a methylation panel so that we can really get a better look and see what's going on to make that better. But if you do have an active CBS, we do have an entire protocol to help with the detoxification of that extra sulfur. So yes, it's very important to look at all of this together, not to just hyper focus on the one area. There's all kinds of things we can do with epigenetics if you have mutations to make this run better. So if this is something that's interesting to you, or you want me to run the labs for you, or you just have questions, just go to my website at www.breakthroughintegrativehealing.com. There's a button on there if you can click work with me, and we can do a free 30-minute assessment call to, if you have any questions, we can see if this would be a good fit for you. Otherwise, there is a section on there. If you just have some questions, you can just email me and I will get back to you.